Screencast is going to cover 4.3 in the Dreamweaver Revealed series, chapter 4. We're going to start with, we're already working with kitchen table, and we just added the little casserole dish there, and we've got PS4-5 open, PS4-5, and we're going to work on using another selection to get this pot over to the table. So we're going to start by going to select color range. With color range selected, we're going to take our fuzziness down to 0. We're going to make sure the invert checkbox is selected, and we're going to make sure that image is selected down here. Once we have that, we're going to click anywhere in the white area of the picture, and if you just hold down Control, you can see what is actually going to be selected right there. Once you have that, click OK. Go to your Move tool and drag the teapot onto the table, and we're going to put it down on the corner. Notice you have a huge white halo around this particular image. We're going to defringe that, so let's go to Layer, Matting, Defringe, and let's do it to the tune of 2 pixels. That kind of smooths it out just a little bit. Let's go ahead and open another file, PS4-6 knife on a table. Now this one's a little different because you don't have a solid color background, you've got kind of a gradient background. So we're going to use a tool called the Magic Wand. So let's come up here and find the Magic Wand. It's hiding under the Quick Selection tool. Let's make sure our settings are right here. We're going to take our tolerance up to 50. Okay, and we have point sample selected. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come back into the knife. I'm just going to click right here on the blade. I was able to pick everything up, and if I come in here and click on the handle, it's going to select even more, and we don't really always want it to do that. Okay, so sometimes you have to use the quick selection and the Magic Wand together. For example, if I come over here and hold down minus, I can actually remove things from the actual selection. If I hold down Control, I can minus. If I hold down Shift, I can add things. So if I zoom in here, I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click to add that part of the blade on. I could continue down here. If I hold Shift with a plus sign, I can click and add objects. But the problem is that color is just is the same as everything else. So we're going to combo up the Quick Selection tool in with this. So with the Magic Wands selected, I'm going to click on the blade, hold Shift to get that rest of that blade part in there. I'm going to go to my Quick Selection tool, and I'm going to finish it off. And my cursor is a little too big, so I'm going to use the bracket, left bracket, and I'm just going to drag down here to select just a wipe through to get the rest of the handle. Once we've got that done, let's go ahead and go to our Move tool, and let's drop that into the kitchen table image. Okay, it doesn't really fit anywhere in particular, so we have to worry about that as well. Let's defringe this first off. Let's go to Layer, Matting, Defringe. Let's do it to the tune of 1 pixel. Okay, with that there. Let's go ahead and move this thing as well. We want to get this thing flipped. So one way we can do that is we can go to Edit on your menu and go down to Transform. And then what we can do is we can flip vertical. Flip to vertical. Now we could do a Command T for free transform, and we can rotate the knife to where it looks like it's sitting down on the table. Once you've got your knife in a good location, hit Enter to place those changes in there. Okay, so we've moved objects to the table using multiple ways of selecting. And another way of another thing we're going to work on now is a blemish. So let's get on the table layer to first start off. So make sure you're on the table layer. What we're going to do is we're going to fix this kind of unstained area of the table down here. It kind of doesn't really flow in. It kind of sticks out a little bit. So we're going to use the healing brush for this. So the healing brush is over here on the left. Looks like a Band-Aid. There's spot healing brush and there's healing brush. For this one, we're going to use the actual healing brush. Okay. Up at the top are our settings for the healing brush. You'll notice right here, this can be the size, the hardness, and the spacing of the particular healing brush. But here's how we actually use the healing brush. It works a little bit like the clone stamp, as you can take a sample of something. So what we're going to do is we're going to find us a spot that's stained. I'm going to use this area down here. If you see that hole there in the circle, I'm going to just move this wooden area right over to this hole in the wood. So I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm going to take a sample by clicking. So I just took a sample, and I didn't get a very good sample. I'm holding Alt again, I'm going to click. So now I got that sample. Now as I move over here, and I click and hold, that plus sign that shows up on the right is actually what I'm painting on. So now if I move over, I can now paint on some stain, and it blends in with the rest of the table. Okay, let me zoom back out. As you zoom out and look at it in normal mode, you can hardly tell that it's even there. You could go back and redo that if it doesn't look like it's set. Go ahead and take another sample. I'll take a sample from right here, and we'll go ahead and paint that on. Oh, didn't work out, so I'm going to take another sample. You have to be careful not to let that plus sign go underneath the table. All right. So there we have the healing brush along with a bunch of other selections. That's going to conclude 4.3. Next one will cover more ways of selecting and using vignettes in 4.4.